what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy it.
Obviously, the group that we're talking about the most was defensive line. They do pick up a commitment from a Wisconsin defensive lineman yesterday. Now, it's someone who played more defensive end than defensive tackle, but he's going to transition to defensive tackle.
He's 6'3", 310, which is you can play D tackle there.
And they're going to continue to bring in bodies. And look, we've known that. I've had conversations with coaches, and it's the obvious because they have to. There's a couple of people on their radar now that they feel really good about that are currently, making that decision. And so they're going to have the numbers. What kind of talent are you bringing in? This is somebody, played a lot for Wisconsin. I believe Gio had 6 starts for Wisconsin. So you just need.
He's experienced. Gio Paez, he's been playing for 5 years. He is a super senior, Jake. He's going into his 6th year of college football. He appeared in 13 games last year, 6 starts. There's no crazy stats, but
no,
it's exactly what we said though.
You need an able body that can go out there and not be lost, and that isn't, no disrespect, not a walk-on.
You just have to get this. This group is not going to be great. At least I don't think so. Maybe I've heard good things about Guillory. Maybe somebody really surprised us. This group's not going to be great. You just have to get them to be good enough so your other great groups can shine.
Yes.
Because I think Harold Perkins and Weeks and Penn in the middle could be one of the better groups in this team. Especially under Blake Baker, right? What could upset that would be if the interior is constantly able to get to the second level, no problem, because your D tackles are struggling. Yeah. I think the edge actually has quite a bit of talent. We broke that down last week. I think they could be pretty exciting, but again, they're not going to be as good as they can be if the interior is a complete disaster. So that's all I'm saying. It's never going to be a strength, but you just can't make it a weakness that sinks the rest of the defense.
No, and you can't take this weakness and it take over for your strength like T-Bob's mentioning, because if you're playing Mike linebacker, if you're playing somewhere in the box at linebacker, the worst thing that can happen to you is you have guards in your lap, right? And you have defensive tackles in your lap because the guard is pushing that tackle there. Like, the line of scrimmage has to be set for any good linebacker to be able to go out there and roam and make a play. And so, yes, that correlates with each other. If you don't have a defensive tackle in front of you that is keeping guards off of you, then you're not going to be the player that you can be. And so that's a position group, and having conversations with Blake Baker, of course he likes Harold Perkins. He loves Greg Penn. He had Greg Penn the first time that he was here. And he talks about the Weeks brothers, not just one. He talks about both of them being players that he likes. And
that's a lot of guys for 2 spots, though. Have they talked about how they're kind of managing those reps yet?
Well, it is, but I think that everybody's a little bit different, and so I think you'll see 4 play. Now, if you had to say, Greg Penn's going to play.
I mean, but also you want Harold Perkins on the field as much as possible. So I imagine if you bring those other guys in, I hope that you're just kind of moving Perk maybe around to
I think Whit Weeks actually
else.
has some versatility as well.
True.
I think he's somebody that, unfortunately, last year it wasn't showcased as much as it should have been, but he has some versatility. Now, his brother Wes Weeks is obviously he's an in-the-box linebacker, and I think that's where his strength lies. But I think Whit can give you a little bit something else. So if you want to get creative with him, that's another player that you can kind of find a position for, because he's kind of earned the right to get a position.
Maybe those guys started working in that star position a bit that we talked about with Major Burns. I could see that.
I think Whit Weeks could do a good job in that spot.
Yeah. But yeah, to our original point, it's just you just more bodies in the interior defensive line. Somebody says, T-Bob, what about Preston Hickey, the strongest player on the team? Actually, I feel bad. Somebody wrote me a very long, good email informing me on Preston Hickey, and
he's a player that right now, he's in the 2 deep.
He's in the 2 deep? Okay, hell yeah.
He's a former walk-on, and right, wrong, or indifferent, those guys have challenges, and you've got to go above and beyond. Now, T-Bob and I played with walk-ons that got scholarships, and it can happen. Hell, Chris Doring was a walk-on. He had the SEC record for 3 decades. So it can happen.
James Stampley, fullback of the 2011 football team. Power lifter.
Josh Williams.
Josh Williams.
Walk-on.
So, maybe Hickey's the next one
so
in
maybe
that crew.
Maybe he can give you something, but, they need to continue to stack bodies, though, because even if you have him, you still are light in that position group.
Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.